Hey guys, it's Michelle Pippin, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Tracie Stern of BlackDiamondWellness.com. Tracie is a working model, a mother, a wife, a health enthusiast, a lifestyler, and a consultant on fitness and nutrition. She is in the multi-level marketing business and she rocks it. One of the things I love about her, one of the many things, is we don't have a lot of multi-level marketing representatives within the Women Who Wow membership, but Tracie is so successful and so driven, and she just makes multi-level marketing look not only exciting but also doable and honorable and fun. Like, if you don't follow her on Facebook, you absolutely need to. She is what I'm sure every multi-level marketing company wishes they had in their ranks. She's just amazing. I love her more with each and every Facebook post that I read from her. I'm thrilled to have her on for another episode of Practical Profits interview series focusing on Women Who Wow members. And I'm even more honored to have her just as a Women Who Wow member. So Tracie, so glad to have you here. Welcome. And I'm excited to just share you and your wisdom and your enthusiasm with the members here in Women Who Wow. Are you there?
Thank you so much. I was honored when I was asked if, yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me
Yeah, I
okay?
can hear you good. I think we kind of froze for just a minute.
I think that's the fun of modern technology.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm getting a little kickback, so I'm going to turn my volume down a little bit. No, I'm honored to be here. I was thrilled when I received the email asking if I would, be willing to participate. And, I hear you introduce me, and it's so funny because I've accomplished a lot in my lifetime, but I don't really single it out as much. And so when I hear it all singled out individually, I'm thinking, oh, wow, I've accomplished quite a lot.
It's
So.
funny because life kind of blurs that way, right? Like, we sort of are here today, and a lot of people, when I introduce them, some people send introductions, and I never use those introductions because what I want to share is what I've actually seen in reality, not like something that has either been overhyped or, in most people's cases, kind of blurred out in kind of a history of all these successes. So, yeah, so I hope you were like patting yourself on the back hearing that introduction. It's just amazing, right? You just accomplished so much in industries that, frankly, most people don't have really great levels of success at. Modeling, multi-level marketing is like any other business, kind of, the top percent are making the most money, and you've kind of hit the highest parts of a lot of different industries. So I love that about you.
I have had a very, what I call privileged life. It's definitely not been a conventional life. I started modeling in my early 20s. I've actually been modeling since I was 5, and that's, I think, where that bug was planted with my mom. And I turned professional in my early 20s, and from there, I've spent my career as a plus size model, which is a difficult industry, and it's definitely transitioned over the years with social media and internet. Now, when I started, there was no internet, there was no digital photography, there was nothing, there was no photoshopping. So when I say old school, we were still using the 60-second Polaroids to check lighting and making sure that everything worked. And so it's come a long way, and I've watched it grow. And then multi-level marketing came in about 12 years ago when my first son was born. And coming from an industry where I controlled my hours and I didn't work a 9 to 5, and it was an extremely difficult period for me when my son was born because I didn't have a what am I going to do now scenario. It was just I was always going to model. Then I fell in love, and then I had a baby, and then I was like, I have no idea what I am anymore. I'm a mom, but I still model, and there was a definite identity crisis that I went through when my son was born because, how does a mom dress? But I'm also a model, and am I allowed to do this now? I was also in my 30s. So there was just a lot of growth that happened in this transition, and then network marketing just kind of showed me another aspect of myself. And then over the years, it sort of evolved into what I do now.
I love it. And I love just the evolution of watching your business grow and meld and kind of come under one umbrella of the Black Diamond Wellness. And, that website will be found in the transcript of this call, but also right below this video if you're watching this. And it's blackdiamondwellness.com. Before we go on and hear a little bit more from and about Tracie, I want to say that if you are in network marketing and you are struggling in any way, struggling with messaging, struggling with how to present your products, I don't care what company you're with, if you will find Tracie on Facebook, and we'll list her link right below this video. If you'll find her and follow her regardless of what company you're with or how long you've been there or how successful you are, you will learn a lot, and just in the empowered and encouraging and exciting way that she presents not just the opportunity but also the products that she believes in and that she uses under the Black Diamond Wellness umbrella. So I just want to kind of put that out there because you just do it so well. So if you could tell me just what you accomplished in 2016. So we kind of, took the lifetime approach, and that's just so impressive. And but what have you accomplished just in 2016?
For me, 2016 was a year of sort of silence, I guess was a good way to put it. My brand really was developed in 2016. So I've always had components of it. So obviously the modeling, the fashion, that was a component. And then about 3.5 years ago, I got into nutrition and wellness and fitness. And I became that for a period of time. I took a step back from modeling, and I focused on wellness and nutrition and the fitness aspect. And then over 3.5 years, I sort of developed that portion. It wasn't actually until, and I believe we'll get to this later in the conversation, but until I met you, which I look at that as a fateful meeting, that when I was introduced to WOW, and just a couple of conversations with you really helped me mesh the brand of bringing in the fashion with the wellness. And I was having a difficulty bridging those two, just because wellness never, crossed my mind during the fashion portion. So I wasn't sure how to mesh those two. So 2016 for me was the year of developing my brand of Tracie Stern under the umbrella of Black Diamond Wellness and incorporating everything that I am. It was also where the products that I was using in network marketing, network marketing is no different than a job. It's no different than working with a corporation. When that job doesn't suit you anymore, or you've grown out of that position, you need to move on. Otherwise you become stagnant. And I had outgrown the company that I was with. And so really necessarily wasn't looking for something, but something found me. And through that process, I had to let go of a portion. I had to let go of a part of me and incorporate these new products. I did a lot of research and guinea pigging and things like that. And so 2016 was just a way for me to really see who Black Diamond Wellness was and how it was going to fit into the marketplace. And so it's just sort of been a year of silence, where I haven't been very visible.
I actually, I think you've been very visible. I've been watching you. I know a lot of people are watching you, and just so gracefully putting. I guess it could be considered a new brand, but for me, it was easy when I looked at you because you weren't trying to create a brand. I mean, you were living a brand, and we sort of had to simplify it and put it into words that the rest of the world could understand. I feel like that's really fun. One of the things that I see business owners do incorrectly all the time with branding is they take no period of silence, right? They have an idea. They create something, they unleash this new brand to the world, and then 3 months later, they have a new idea, and they unleash a new brand. And so I love that you were very researched and diligent and deliberate, because it really allowed, I think, your brand to emerge as it really was, which was always in development, right? And so it just kind of emerged under almost just new packaging or new messaging, but had, in my opinion, looking at you for the almost year that we've known each other, it's been just kind of watching it be unveiled to everyone else, but had always been being lived out. Does it feel that way to you?
Well, my brand is very much a reflection of me. And so, me as a person, I live my brand.
Right.
And so I guess for me personally, I'm seeing it from inside the box. And even though, like, for me, the products that I use in my daily life are the same products that my clients are exposed to. And, the retail therapy concept, it's the same aspect that I approach when dealing with my own problems, or things like that. So it was, I guess, from an outsider's point of view, or outside that box, where you can see, because I am my brand, it has always been there. For me, it just didn't seem so cohesive as it does now.
Good. So tell me what you have planned for 2017.
Oh, my goal for 2017 is to become visible, to literally be everywhere. I want to get into the media. I want to become that subject matter expert. I want to, I've sort of been dabbling with clients and developing the process with my clients. I have never done this professionally in a paid position. It's always been something I've just done for friends and things like that. So it's developing more of a client base. It's really becoming that subject matter expert in my field. I'm pretty much the only one that I know of that does what I do. And so it's just kind of getting me out there and letting people know I exist. And so it's going to be a very visible year.
Good. I'm so excited about that. And I know that you saying it here, I know that it will happen 100%. And so I'm excited to see you just really emerge nationally and just become known and sought after as an expert. And so I'm excited about that. I was wondering if you could share with everyone watching one tip or strategy or a tool, something that has helped you increase your income, impact, or influence in the past year. So whatever you can share, like, hey, if you ignore everything else but do this, then that will help your business, because I know that a lot of people will be watching this, and particularly people in network marketing will be watching this as well. So what words do you have for them?
You have to go with your gut. And I'm going to go from two aspects. From the modeling fashion aspect of what I do and where I come from, it's an extremely superficial world. But it's understanding, for me, it's understanding my product. So my product is me. I've sold myself for years. That's what a model does. I'm a product. And it's understanding the difference between people passing judgment on the product and people passing judgment or rejection on the person. And it's understanding that separation, that when people are rejecting you, they're not rejecting you, they're rejecting your brand or what you're offering. And, there's something in network marketing that we kind of joke about, that, some people will say no, but unless they get a restraining order, it doesn't mean, never. It just means at this particular point in their day, in their life, in their week, in this moment, they don't see a need for you. But with increased exposure, with increased education, there will come a time in their life where they will look for you. And if you're constantly visible, the problem that I see with most businesses is they come out of the gate with this passion and fire, and they run and they're like, I love what I do and you need to know about me and everything. And then they don't get that reaction that they expected. And because they're not getting that response right out of the gate, they assume it's not working.
Right.
And if you look at most major companies, that sort of supply and demand mentality is, when a new product is looking to be released, they always do advertisements before the product actually comes out to create exposure, because it takes 7 exposures before somebody actually pays attention to what you have to say. And so if they only put out one TV commercial about this hot new product or a new radio commercial, nobody's really going to retain that. It takes constant exposure. And so months ahead of release, they're promoting their brand. And so for me, it's just once you get past the honeymoon phase of your business or the honeymoon phase of your product launch or whatever it is, continue that same momentum. Like running a race, once you get into your rhythm, don't slow down, because it's going to be harder to pick it back up. So I think that one for me is just to keep that momentum going past the honeymoon phase so that your brand is consistently exposed, even when you're not seeing a return right away, because those seeds are definitely being planted.
That's so awesome. That's so awesome. And, one quick thing that, people talk about all the time is, when I ask them why they're not following up, like you said, if they say no, it really just means not now, right? So unless they get a restraining order, it's really not no.
Right.
And, but it's so funny because people will say, they said no, and I don't want them to think I'm only in it for the money or I'm only after their money. So I don't follow up. I'm thinking, oh, okay. So you acted like you're all excited about them. They said no, and then you never speak to them again, right?
Right.
It's like, doesn't make sense. It just, but I love that. And I know there's a lot of talk about not quitting before payday, staying the course. And I love that, getting through the honeymoon phase. And, once that kind of wears off, then your commitment shows, right? Your real commitment and your real excitement about the product, the company, your business, your brand, whatever really shows. And so I love that you brought that to everyone's attention. One thing that I wanted to ask you before we close is, when I met you, it was kind of a fateful meeting, and you stand out in any crowd that you're in, but you definitely stood out at that event as well. And I'm just so humbled to have you as a WOW member. And so I'd love for you to share, like, why you chose Women Who WOW. I know that you are, very well networked and very wise with your time. And so why did you choose WOW?
When I met you, your credentials alone are extremely impressive. You're a woman of power yourself, and you're extremely established. So for me, I felt that just aligning myself with you alone would be a very smart. You're a woman that I can look up to in respect of your accomplishments. And so for me, just being in your network alone, was something that I knew would benefit me just by association, just by, being in osmosis, so to speak. And when I learned about the Women Who WOW, and I knew, any woman can sort of be a part of it, but there's a certain level of woman that is involved. And the women in their own rights are powerful, inspiring, and these are not women that you would put in a wallflower position. They are not ones to stand in the corner. And I knew that, like I said, just through osmosis. And the other thing is business coaches, that terminology, anything mentor, there are plenty out there, and in my circle, I've met several of them. And it's not that I don't see value in what they do. It's just none of them struck me to the point of saying, I need that person. But when I met you and I saw what you offered, and it's an extremely unique approach that you bring to it. It's not your traditional coaching. It's not your traditional mentoring. And I like that outside the box approach, because I'm not a box person. I'm not a typical, I guess the way you approach me is not the typical way to approach, most people. And so when I saw that uniqueness, I thought, I loved how you approached it. I love that you're a woman, and I love that you empower women, because I am a woman-owned business, and my job is empowering women as well. And it just was a perfect fit for it. And clearly, because my brand only developed after I joined WOW.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. One of the things that we did before we met you was we grew very slowly for years, and the reason we did that was just that we grew only by print invite. That's how people came into WOW, and it was and before we opened it up online, we kind of secured our core so that people like you would feel welcome and like, oh, these are my people, right? I found the right tribe. And so so I appreciate that, love that so much. Appreciate you and you being a part of WOW, and also being willing to share with people who are watching this video. This is, Tracie Stern is someone that you definitely want to get to know. Like I said, you want to follow her on Facebook. I follow her. I read everything that she puts out on Facebook, and it's something I do, and you'll see, I'm liking it and, commenting, and it's just so empowered and exciting and real. And so anyway, so I love that about you. I appreciate you being here, and we'll talk soon. I'll see you on Monday.
All right. I appreciate it. Thanks very much.
Alrighty.